In the previous video we finished the rotating assembly, so now we can turn our attention to the camshaft and valve train. Since this 409 has increased displacement and more efficient heads, KT engines work with comp cams to produce a custom grind for the bump stick. The solid roller they came up with features a nice aggressive lobe and specs out at 244 degrees of duration on the intake and 248 on the exhaust, both at 50 thousandths lift. And since it's a roller, only a coat of engine assembly lube is required before installation. Once the camshaft is in place, we can turn our attention to the cylinder heads. As mentioned previously, the cylinder heads are Edelbrock's upgraded W heads cast in aluminum. They come complete with stainless steel valves and a set of matched valve springs. We checked them ourselves and they came out to 135 pounds at the 1-inch 910 thousandths installed height and 390 over the nose. After being reassembled, the heads are held to the deck of the block with 18 head bolts on each side. KT Engines uses ARP bolts here, and they are torqued in stages to 85 foot-pounds. The bolt holes also extend into the water jackets, so thread sealer must be used to prevent water leaks. The lifters are solid rollers from comp cams, but there's a catch. Because of the aggressive cam profile, the link bars for standard 409 or big block Chevy lifters are too short. When either the intake or exhaust is fully raised, its mate gets pulled up off the camshaft's base circle by the link bar. To fix this, KT Engines used a comp lifter with a removable link bar and installed a set of longer bars for a small block Ford. This allows for plenty of movement between the lifters. Then they're ready to be coated in oil and dropped in place. The push rods chosen to connect the lifters to the rocker arms are tapered units from CV Products. They start out at 5/16 near the lifter and grow to 3/8 of an inch in diameter at the top to help prevent flex without adding excessive weight. Then the valve train is finished off with the installation of the rocker arms. KT's is using big block steel roller rockers with a 1.73 to 1 rocker ratio. That puts the total valve lift somewhere around 6/10 of an inch. The lash is adjusted and held fairly tight at 12 thousandths for the intakes and 14 for the exhausts. This is mainly because the customer wants a fairly snotty rumble from the engine, and the tighter lash can do this by increasing the amount of time the exhaust valve is held open. Finally, a little silicone is applied in preparation for the intake manifold. The intake is an Edelbrock casting designed to work with the heads and maximize power between 1500 and 6500 RPM. If you're running the stock heads, Edelbrock has a version with smaller runners to better match the original castings. And like some of the coolest and most powerful 409s from the past, this intake is set up to run dual quads, which you will see in a bit. The intake also comes with a large oil-filled tube, which helps complete the original look since there's no openings in the valve covers. Here, engine builder Keith Crisco is dropping on the 409's signature valve covers. It's this unique shape that makes the 409 instantly recognizable the moment you pop the hood. And to keep that old school flavor, we're also using Phillips head machine screws with insulated pads to hold the valve covers in place. After all, if you're going to the trouble to paint the aluminum heads just to make them look stock, you might as well go all the way. Here's a look at the dual quad carburetor system all mounted up. Running multiple carburetors can be a pain, especially if you're using finicky original pieces, so we've bolted up new twin Edelbrocks for dependability and ease of adjustment. The carburetor linkage is original 409 stuff, but if you can't locate it, Edelbrock has them as well as fuel lines and air cleaners to complete the look. Now we have nothing left to do but to hook it up on the dyno and see how it all works together.